Okay, so the idea of this is to do like a review of a new client or create a DAO and try to come up with some content strategy ideas. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a look at their Twitter, look at their website, look at their Discord, and just look at the channels in their Discord and see what kind of stuff is the community talking about. See what kind of stuff is getting posted on Twitter and just see what the project is about. And then from there, maybe make some observations about how we could plan our content creation strategy. So how are we going to, where's our source material for our content? What are the ideas that we could bring out? What are some strategies, some growth hacking strategies? This one's really interesting because, so the original project basically creates these images, generative images, like this, right? So generated from a transaction hash. And so then the second project, that's hash. And the second project kind of, my understanding is it kind of builds on the first project by letting you create a background. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on under the hood, but I'm just saying this kind of feels like a growth hacking strategy where you can get a PFP from another project. So like these are popular projects, right? So the idea is take a popular project and then create something new with it with your own project. This is a growth hacking strategy. I don't have a PFP to show, but I just wanted to say that this is a growth hacking strategy at the product level. But what is the growth hacking strategy from here? So people create these and then they post them on Twitter, right? That's basically stage 2. So then that's already happening. So what can we do about it? How can we magnify or kind of, how can we encourage more people to, or how can we find a new way to use what's already happening to better advantage? For example, so the first thing I've done is I've just said hello. So I've introduced myself. Hi, I'm from CRE8R and we're working with Proof of Beauty on content marketing. Like, talk to people, find out what's going on and see how we can work together. It would be super cool if CRE8R had like a channel in here or something, like a little mini CRE8R camp, like a camp where we can kind of work together. We're also working on this document. So in our Discord, and see, we've got a kind of a little camp for Proof of Beauty here. And we're working on this document, content guidelines document, that kind of sort of make sure this is shared with everyone. Yes, so it's shared with everyone. Just a kind of a document to give some guidelines and some ideas on how we can collaborate together. So this video is a part of this idea of creating some kind of way to collaborate with Proof of Beauty community, and perhaps some way that we can, again, help create some guidelines and even some permission within the community to share more, and even a way to incentivize that sharing. Right, so maybe you should just say that. Permission for guidelines. Permission. Incentivize. Incentives. Right? So this is kind of, so we want people to share. We want them to share within certain kind of structure, right? Like we don't, then we want to give people permission to share and to know that they're sharing in a way that is kind of suitable for the project, right? Like, and then we want to have incentives for sharing. So there's a shit ton of content in here. So let's have a look at it. And like, I just want to emphasize, this is already happening. It's not like no one shares their hashes that they buy, or no one shares their London PFPs. Like, this is already happening. So it's about understanding what's already happening. Like Creator DAO's not coming in here and telling everyone how to do stuff because they're already doing it, right? Like, this project is going along very nicely, but they also wanting to see if there's anything that they can improve or tweak. So improve or tweak to kind of to have like more content flowing out from this community. Even maybe a 10 or 20% increase in, or and one new person that has been lurking in this Discord that feels empowered to share, right? Like, and maybe can get some benefit from sharing too. It knows and has an easy way to structure that sharing. So again, guidelines to give them some structure or strategy. So maybe strategy. Something like this, right? So then, okay, so people buy and sell here. There's some activity here. History. There's another whole DAO called Historians DAO that we need to kind of... Okay, so here's a whole forum. Oh, wait. Discourse. Okay, so there's just like chunks and chunks of... Right? Like, this is huge. Like, all these different transactions. Here's a piece of content right here. Just an idea, right? I mean, that tweet could have been better, right? But I think it says the says what it is, right? historically significant hashes. So like straight away by looking, you find stuff, right? Like this is where the heart of this content strategy has to come from. No one's going to be able to come up with a content strategy for Proof of Beauty or any other project without looking at the core place where everyone is talking about it, right? This is just common sense. But it's worth mentioning. So like meme factory, right? So the question is, there's a lot of smart people in here and they're already talking about Proof of Beauty. Some of them are tweeting about it, some of them are writing articles about it, some of them are doing videos, some of them aren't. So 2 questions. How can we work with the people who are? And incentivize them or help them to do more or work with us? And then how can we encourage or give permission or to people who aren't, right? Like this seems to me to be the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Because how can CRE8R help? I guess is our question. So we need to know the current state of affairs and then come up with some ways to help. Okay, so we have other language channel. We've got people from CRE8R that speak other languages. So there's one way. Okay, so what can we do then? So let's go to our channel. Let's go back here, copy the link. Everyone who looks at this is going to come up with different ideas, right? Like I'm one person looking at this, but anyone and everyone from our DAO or from Proof of Beauty DAO is invited and encouraged to go through the same process, to look about it, think about it, and contribute to this document. And together, we can come up with a ton of ideas, guidelines, incentives. We can work through them and figure out which ones are good to go with, and then we can make an announcement, and we can then proceed to follow through and implement the plan. Right? So this is, again, everyone will look at this and have different ideas. So first step, look. Second step, pitch your ideas. So my idea is that these people might want to know about this Chinese channel. So now I'm going to tag people who are Chinese speakers in our Discord and invite them to check it out. Let's collab. Yeah? So there's one way. Maybe we could start a French channel in Proof of Beauty. Right? So there's another way. Maybe we can make Proof of Beauty go global. Now, this is our Discord. Probably another thing to do, like if you really want to if you really want a reminder to just be in the Discord of the projects that we work with. Where's my Proof of Beauty icon? Here. Let's just drag it up. If you're like me and you've got 1 million Discords, just drag it to the top so that it reminds you, oh, let me go check out Proof of Beauty. Let me like try to find ways to form new connections between our DAOs. Because ultimately those connections and that interest in the project and thinking like strategically, thinking how can we collaborate is what's going to make this work, right? Like, sure, we're going to produce content, but what is the level of connection between our DAOs? So, like, there's a tavern here, so you can just come and just say, like, hi. I'm brainstorming ways that Creator, DAO, and POB fam can collab content, right? This is an appropriate place to talk about this stuff at the pub, right? So like this community is like welcoming. Our community is welcoming. Let's like welcome each other and party together, right? Like, and I mean, I think this kind of gives the idea. I'm not going to go through more channels. I mean, hash idea sharing, right? This is like gold. If you're looking for inspiration and ideas for content, this is gold. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there for now, and catch you later.